Dear students, in the last session we have completed a few notes. Now we'll go for last part of the chapter, that is ethers. Preparation of ethers. We know the general formula of ether is ROR. How to prepare? First one, by dehydration of alcohols. One thing we have studied, dehydration of alcohol gives alkene. And second, another method, just the difference is temperature. When alcohols undergo dehydration in the presence of sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid forms alkenes and ether depending on the reaction condition. Because this is what the very important point students you have to remember. Alcohols are used, done dehydration by using dehydrating agent either sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid. Both are same, dehydration takes place, but the products are different. Means you have to think when we will get when we will get alkenes upon dehydration of alcohol, and when will we get ethers upon dehydration of alcohols. So when ethyl alcohol undergo dehydration at 413 Kelvin, see 413 Kelvin forms ethoxyether, nothing but ether. And at 443 Kelvin, it forms what? Ethene. The temperature is different. Reactant is same. Reagent sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid same. Only when we change the temperature, the products are changed. That's why you have to think of at what temperature the reaction is given. Say ethyl alcohol and condition at sulfuric acid at 443 Kelvin. Now you are able to say what is the answer. 443 Kelvin, dehydration of alcohol takes place in the presence of sulfuric acid to give alkene. That means ethene is formed. Same sulfuric acid. Condition is 413 Kelvin, which gives us what? Ethoxyethane. Ethoxyethane. Ether is formed. How to get it? Mechanism. The formation of ether is a nucleophilic bimolecular reaction involving attack of alcohol molecule on a protonated alcohol. Means from sulfuric acid we will get proton. That proton attacks alcohol, we will get protonated alcohol. To that, one more alcohol undergo attack. They will go for stepwise. Step 1, ethyl alcohol undergoes what? Protonation. Protonation. This proton is from the sulfuric acid. Protonation. After protonation, it gives what? Protonated alcohol. We will get what? Protonated alcohol. In the next step, in the second step, one more ethyl alcohol, whose lone pair of electrons attacks the carbon of the protonated alcohol. Remember, lone pair of electrons of alcohol gets attacked to carbon atom to which the OH group is attached in a protonated alcohol. See, protonated alcohol, lone pair of electrons gets attacked. That means oxygen gets attached to the carbon, and here this now what would happen? This water molecule will lose and it will get what? The intermediate. In the last step, deprotonation takes place. In the last step, deprotonation, that means this proton which loses, deprotonation takes place to give the respective ether. Ether is formed. So this is what the mechanism of the formation of ether by dehydration of alcohols. Remember, in the first step, protonation of alcohol takes place to give protonated alcohol. In the second step, one more alcohol attacks the protonated alcohol to give an intermediate. In the last step, deprotonation takes place to give ether. Deprotonation takes place to give ether. Second method, Williamson's ether synthesis, or in short, it is called Williamson synthesis. It's an important laboratory method for the preparation of symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. That means either symmetrical, that means from oxygen either side having the same number of carbon atoms or same number of atoms, unsymmetrical, different number of atoms. In this method, alkyl halide, the RX, R is alkyl group, halide is X, alkyl halide RX is allowed to react with the sodium alkoxide. Sodium metal is there, alkoxide, alkoxide RO, and sodium is attached, therefore RONA. Ethers containing substituted alkyl groups, nothing but secondary or tertiary, may also prepared by this method. This involves SN2 attack of an alkoxide ion on primary alkyl halide. Say, alkyl halide RX combines with the sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide. Now Na combines with X to give NaX. And what is left there? RO and R, which gives RO R dash, nothing but ether is formed. If a tertiary alkyl halide is used, it's a very, very important, try to understand, students. If a tertiary alkyl halide is used and alkene is the only reaction product and no ether is formed, then tertiary alkyl halide, so this is tertiary alkyl halide, when it is treated with the sodium alkoxide, RONA, now it does not give to ether, instead it gives what? Alkene. It gives alkene and sodium bromide. This is what the difference we have to observe. Here we will get what? Alkene and methanol separates out when tertiary alkyl halide is used. It is because alkoxides are not only nucleophiles but strong bases as well. This whatever the sodium alkoxide we use, it is not only nucleophile, it also acts as a what? Strong base. Strong base. Another interesting you can see, alkyl halide reacts with sodium alkoxide, reacts with ether. See, this is tertiary. That's what I said, students. Do not undergo confusion here. It's a very, very important reaction. When you use tertiary alkyl halide, nothing but tertiary butyl halide, no ether, alkene is formed. Instead, tertiary sodium alkoxide, tertiary alkoxides are used with alkyl halide. It definitely it gives what? Ether. It results in what? Ether is formed. So that's why when you use alkoxide, which alkoxide? Tertiary alkoxide or sodium alkoxide with the alkyl halide. Here this is also alkyl halide. This is sodium alkoxide, but it does not give ether. Instead it gives what? This alkenes are formed, though it is alkyl halide and sodium alkoxide. Here there is no formation of the ethers, but tertiary sodium tertiary alkoxides are used. Sodium tertiary alkoxides are used, then definitely it gives what? Ethers. So that's why just observe tertiary alkyl halide do not give ether, whereas tertiary alkoxides with the sodium gives ethers. Next, from phenols. Phenol react with sodium hydroxide. Definitely, you come to know what you will get the product sodium phenate, which is on treatment with alkyl halide gives what? Ethers. Very simple reaction. Phenol with the sodium hydroxide, no doubt you will get what? Sodium phenate. Now it's very simple. You have to remove Na. To remove Na, you can add what? Alkyl halide. What is alkyl halide? RX. What would happen? Sodium combines with the X gives NaX and phenol. What is left here? Benzene ring R, O, and this R. You will get a product is ether. Now, the important chemical reactions of ether, cleavage of CO bond in ether, because we know ether is ROR, the bond RO breaks, that is called cleavage of CO bond. Ethers are the least reactive of the functional groups because of the presence of bulky groups. Cleavage of CO bond in ether takes place under drastic condition with excess of hydrogen halides because the polarity of this carbon and oxygen in ether is less. Reaction of dialkyl ether gives two alkyl halide molecules, say ROR dialkyl, maybe CH3, C2H5, whatever it is. R is alkyl, not aryl, alkyl with hydrogen halide, which converts into RH, R combines with X and results in what? H2 or ROH. ROH. Once we get ROH, further it combines with HX, converts into RX with the H2. Hence, you can say general reaction when combine two reactions, this ROH gets cancels. ROR plus 2HX gives 2RX and H2O. That means two alkyl halide molecules are formed. Two alkyl halide molecules are formed. When aryl ethers are cleaved at alkyl oxygen bond due to the more stable aryl oxygen bond. Here, when you consider aryl groups, then the stability of aryl group and oxygen is more when compared to alkyl because aryl group, benzene ring if present, which is electron withdrawing group, so polarity between carbon of the benzene ring and oxygen is increases, whereas in alkyl groups are electron donors, the polarity between carbon of alkyl and oxygen is decreases. That's why the difference between alkyl uh, group with oxygen and aryl group with oxygen in ethers. Reaction yields phenol and alkyl halide. Say this is ROR. Here is one. Say this may be donor, alkyl group, but this is aryl group. It is electron withdrawing. It withdraws the electron. Since it withdraws the electron, the polarity between these is increases. As the polarity increases, the bond this bond breaks readily. The bond breaks readily. Hence, that is becomes what more reactive. HX gives what? Phenol plus RX. Phenol plus RX is formed. RX means alkyl halide. However, when one of the alkyl group is a tertiary group, then halide form is a tertiary halide. So here it is. Tertiary. A carbon atom is attached with the three carbon atom. Therefore, this is tertiary, and of course, this is primary because carbon atom is attached with only one or no carbon atom. Therefore, this is primary and this is tertiary. That's what the point said. One of the alkyl group is a tertiary group. So this alkyl group is tertiary group. The halide formed is a tertiary halide. Now the question mark, since it reacts with hydrogen iodide, this iodide is halogen. Where this iodide goes? Whether this iodine goes with methyl or this iodine goes with higher group. Now remember the halogen group which prefers what? Higher group. That's what a tertiary halide is formed. Tertiary halide is formed. Students here do remember in ethers two sides or the unsymmetrical ethers, one primary and the tertiary is present, then the halide group goes with the tertiary group and results in what? Tertiary halide. Results in tertiary. It is because in step 2, departure of the leaving group, that is OH group, creates a more stable carbocation because it's a tertiary. Since once the OH group goes, carbocation is formed, it's highly stable, therefore immediately attack takes place and follows what? SN1 mechanism. This is explained in haloalkanes. In case of anisole means ring is attached with OCH3. Methyl phenyl oxonium ion is formed by protonation of ether. Bond between OCH3 is weaker than bond between O and CC. This is what I explained earlier. Because since oxygen is there, one side CH3 is attached, alkyl group, other side Phenyl group means electron withdrawing. Since it withdraws the electrons, the polarity between OCH3 becomes what more, so this bond is weaker. Therefore, the OCH3 bond is weaker when compared to ring with oxygen. sp2 hybrid, and there is partial double bond character because displacement of lone pair of electrons towards ring takes place. Therefore, ring with the phenyl group takes what? Partial double bond character, and there is more polarity is produced here. As polarity produced, the bond becomes weak. Therefore, attack by I minus ion breaks OCH3 bond to form CH3. CH3. Now, electrophilic substitution reaction. Alkoxy group is ortho and para directing, activates aromatic ring towards electrophilic substitution in the same way as phenol. Because we have studied in phenol, OH group is electron donor. So, during resonance stabilization of phenol, we found negative charge on ortho and para position. Similarly, here also, the group present here OR, this is electron donor group because alkyl is electron donor. So OR whole group act as electron donor. Since it donates the electron, there is a displacement of lone pair of electron takes place throughout the structure. And in its structure, you can find in ortho position a negative charge. And in the next position structure, you can see para position negative charge. Therefore, what is the meta position? Meta position carries positive charge. Next structure, once again, you can find ortho position negative charge. So, in complete resonance structure of ether, we find negative charges on ortho position, para position, and ortho position. That's why the OR, or in ether, if R is alkyl group, then the product formed is during electrophilic substitution is ortho and para product. Ortho and para product. Students, here also try to remember in ethers the alkoxy group present, which is electron donating group, which donates the electron. So since it donates the electron, negative charge is on the ortho, para, and ortho position. So in entire reaction, ortho para position is highly rich. Therefore, incoming electrophile prefers ortho and para position. Hence, the resulting product is ortho and para product. Phenalkyl ethers undergo usual halogenation in the benzene ring. Anisole undergoes bromination with bromine in ethanoic acid. You can say this anisole, benzene ring attached with the OCH3. It is called anisole, or methoxybenzene. It is commonly called anisole. When anisole is treated with bromine water in ethanoic acid, already said, the bromine which decomposes to give Br plus, Br minus. Out of that, Br plus is electrophile that attacks. Where it goes? It goes ortho position and para position. Say para bromoanisole and orthobromoanisole, and two position hydrogens are replaced, combines with the bromine and forms 2HBr. Very important reaction is Friedel-Crafts reaction. Whenever you hear the word of Friedel-Crafts, you should remember his catalyst anhydrous aluminium chloride or anhydrous ferric chloride. Anhydrous aluminium chloride or ferric chloride. There are two types. One is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Second one is Friedel-Crafts acylation. So, anisole undergoes Friedel-Crafts reaction. Generally, we can say Friedel-Crafts reaction. There are two types: alkylation and acylation. In alkylation, substitution of alkyl group takes place, whereas in acylation, substitution of acyl group takes place. Alkyl and acyl groups are introduced at ortho and para positions by reaction with alkyl halide and acyl halide in the presence of anhydrous aluminium chloride. as catalyst. That's what I said. Whenever you hear the word of photograph, remember anhydrous aluminum chloride is a catalyst, or ferric chloride is also used. And there are two types of reaction it has: alkylation and acylation. In alkylation, alkyl groups are substituted at ortho and para position. In acylation, acyl group means what? CH3CO group is called acyl. In acylation, acyl group is substituted on ortho and para position. The anisole, when it reacts with the alkyl halide, so therefore this is called what? Alkylation. This is called alkylation. Here, in the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride catalyst, anhydrous aluminum chloride catalyst, already said, in alkylation, alkyl group substitutes the position of ortho and para. In alkylation, since it is alkyl halide, alkyl group undergo substitution. Which position? At ortho and para. Therefore, methoxy group is as such, and ortho position attacked by methyl. Therefore, you can say what? Orthomethyl anisole. Otherwise, you can also call it 2-methoxy toluene. 2-methoxy toluene. This CH3, this group is called toluene, and second position contains methoxy. Therefore, it is called 2-methoxy toluene. Another possibility is para-methyl. Position is what? Methyl is present at para position, and this is called methox. So para-methoxy toluene or 4-methoxy toluene, either para or 4, because toluene is accepted by IUPAC. Either it's the IUPAC name or it's called common name. Strictly speaking, it's a common name. The products are formed ortho and para when alkyl halide is treated with the anisole. If suppose acyl halide, say CH3CO group is called acyl halide. Now what would happen? In the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride and CH2, acyl group substitution takes place at ortho and para position. Earlier we have seen alkylation, alkyl group substituted. Now it is acylation. So acyl group undergoes substitution. The acyl group CH3CO substitute. So this whole group acts as a ketone. Therefore, this is called acetophenone. Second position contains methoxy. Therefore, it is called 2-methoxy acetophenone. Similarly, you will get what? 4-methoxy acetophenone. This is called Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation. In one word, we can say Friedel-Crafts reaction. Now, the last reaction is nitration. Here also said already, nitration means you should remember the nitrating mixture, that is concentrated nitric acid with the concentrated sulfuric acid. Here anisole reacts with the concentrated nitric acid, because nitration means though there is sulfuric acid that acts as a catalyst, nitric acid reacts reagent. Therefore, anisole reacts with the concentrated nitric acid in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. Reacts with the concentrated nitric acid in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, which gives, once again, attack is same. Which attack? Ortho nitro, nitro group attacks at ortho position as well as ortho para position. So this is called 2-nitro anisole, and also gives what? 4-nitro anisole. It also gives what? 4-nitro anisole. So this is the nitration of anisole. Remember, anisole reacts with the concentrated nitric acid in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. It gives 2-nitro anisole. Second position contains nitro group. Therefore, it is called 2-nitro anisole. And fourth position contains nitro group. Therefore, it is called 4-nitro anisole. So that's end with the chapter alcohol, phenol, and ether. Thank you, students.